and he or she does a high performing job and then expect others to rally behind. Hello everyone, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. My name is Debopam, and this is another video of your personal coach. So today we're going to talk about a very old but very effective article that you might have read in Harvard Business Review, which was written by Daniel Goleman, who wrote the book Emotional Intelligence and kind of popularized that term. Now, in that article, he spoke about the leaders and how different leadership styles are present. He actually gave leadership, that works. His title was, and he gave 6 essential types of leadership. Right. So he spoke that there are the first kind of leadership that he was talking about was the coercive style, where you kind of do as I say kind of approach. That okay, this is what I'm saying. You follow me, right? You don't really ask people to collaborate or ask them to give their thoughts or suggestion and all that. So that's a coercive style, of course, as the name suggests. If you are in a very tight turnaround situation, natural disasters, probably that might work, but generally it doesn't, right? In a long term, in shorter term, for achieving something in turning around things, it might work, but it might not work in a longer term, of course. The second kind of leadership that he talks about is authoritative style or approach, which is like we can give some goal and we decide what needs to be done. Mechanics of it, probably we can give it to others, right? Again, if you have expert in your team, if you do not, you tell them what to do and then they do and do that. It's like my authority. I suggest what needs to be done. If you have experts in the team, this might be a problem because they might come up with suggestions. They might want to change things and all that, contribute, and that's where the friction starts, right? So authoritative style, again, it has very limited applicability. There is a very contrasting approach, that is affiliative style, which is like, yes, people first. We are trying to build the team morale. We are trying to build the harmony in the team, and we are very nice to the people. The problem with this approach, that's Daniel Goleman is saying, is that sometimes we become very too nice to people, and we do not help them get the accountability for their role, for their job. So it is okay, people first is good, but we must ensure that we are focused also on the accountability and everything. It should not be should not lead to complacency or leniency, right? The fourth kind of leadership is democratic style. Now, if you hear this, you might say that this is one of the best style, but unfortunately this is one of the most ineffective way of leadership, actually, because you are giving everyone the voice and opinion that you should do, but while making decision, what happens, there are too many options, there are too many people there, we're trying to come to consensus among everyone. It leads to decision paralysis, chaos and everything, because you cannot really make a decision in that case with the democratic style. So they say mix it up a bit, and so again the applicability is there, but with some mix and match. The another one is pace setting, where the leader might the leader leads by example, and he or she does a high performing job and then expect others to rally behind, motivate. Now this works well only when you have people in your team who gets motivated by that, or who are okay with that work. So there is a concept called facilitation in social facilitation in social psychology. So if I'm good at some work and I see someone next to me doing the same thing, my performance might increase. For example, I'm walking at a certain speed and I'm good at walking or I'm good at running, and somebody passes by me who was in parallel, started walking maybe faster than me. I might increase my speed to win. So that's a social facilitation. However, if I'm not good at work, good at something, and somebody else does that, for example, I'm doing I'm studying chemistry or physics, and I'm not good at physics. For example, I do not have much interest, but I have to. And somebody else is doing good, and if I see that person doing great in physics, my grades might come down because of something called disruption. It's not facilitation any longer because I'm not good at it, so I'm not it's not social facilitation, it's disruption, right? So in the pace setting context, it might lead to social facilitation, it might motivate the team, it might lead to disruption as well. So we need to be very careful while doing that. One example that I often see is of Daniel Goleman. I don't know who was a coach. He was a great footballer, but when he became coach, he expected everyone to do wonders like him. But the problem was there was only one Maradona. There were not many, right? So his expectation and people, this was leading to disruption rather than a facilitation. So that's one of the style. The last one that he spoke about was coaching style, the coaching leadership, where you try nurturing people, where you help people grow, and you help them to unleash their potential. Now, this was said a long back. Do we still follow that? I don't think so at that much extent. But the problem with all of these, and the good part is that none of these are linear. It's not that a person is only doing coercive style, only doing authoritative style. You might have different style, different approaches, as the situation, they call it situational leadership, right? So this might lead to this something that we need to think about, at what situation, which kind of leadership that we need to adopt to, right? And the coaching is something that we must think sincerely. There was a survey which even Daniel Goleman said in that article, that leaders said that we don't really have time for this slow and tedious work of nurturing others or help people grow, and that's a huge problem if we see in that way, right? So we need to see which style of leadership suits us, which type of leadership is required at this point of time in the organization, and act accordingly. I hope that helps. And if you are still thinking that there is only one style of leadership that you must follow, then you have to come out of that shell. It's not that how it works, right? I mean, there are different kind of leadership that you need to follow with a different team or the same team at a different time, right? So it's all that we need to think about. The horizon is quite big. So I hope that helps, and please let me know your thoughts and comments down below the comment section, and I will see you soon.